Throughout history, the greatest rivalries and conflicts have been fought over land, resources, and power. Empires rose and fell on the outcomes of these epic struggles, shaping the world we know today. But now, in the 21st century, the new battlefield isn't a distant land or a contested border, it's inside us, in the very code that makes us who we are, our DNA. The arms race of our era isn't about missiles or tanks, it's about who will gain the power to shape the future of human evolution, using science and technology to alter life itself. Today, the United States and China are locked in a fierce competition to control the very blueprint of life. With revolutionary tools like CRISPR, they are racing to edit our genetic destiny. This is not the plot of a science fiction novel, it's happening right now. The technology to rewrite our genes is not only real, but it's advancing at a breathtaking pace, opening doors to possibilities we once only dreamed of. The stakes in this race are enormous. It's not just about economic or political dominance anymore. It's about redefining what it means to be human, and who gets to decide. Changes made to the human germline are permanent. They don't just affect one person, they alter the genetic legacy of all future generations, for better or for worse. While much of the world remains distracted by other issues, the DNA wars have already begun, quietly unfolding in high-tech labs across the globe, from Boston to Beijing. The choices we make in this moment will echo through the centuries, shaping the destiny of humanity for millennia to come. Will genetic engineering become a tool for healing and hope, curing diseases and ending suffering? Or will it become a weapon in a new kind of global competition, with consequences we can barely imagine? We stand at a precipice, facing decisions that will define the future of our species. The path we choose today will shape not just our own lives, but the future of humanity itself, for generations yet unborn. In the US, the genetic revolution is being fueled not by government initiatives but by the relentless innovation of Silicon Valley. Here, the world's top tech minds are racing to unlock the secrets of our DNA, transforming the future of human biology. Startups now offer embryo testing for traits like intelligence, athletic ability, and even potential for creativity, pushing the boundaries of what was once thought possible. This has turned genetic selection into a luxury product, available in sleek clinics that resemble high-end spas more than medical facilities. For a hefty price, parents can now choose embryos with the best predicted outcomes: smarter, taller, healthier, and even more resistant to certain diseases. This is genetic enhancement as a consumer good, a privilege reserved for those with deep pockets, while others are left behind. The American model celebrates individual choice and personal freedom, but it risks creating a genetic divide between rich and poor that could last for generations. The line between curing disease and enhancing traits is blurring fast, as technology advances and ethical boundaries are pushed. These companies market empowerment and choice, but their business model depends on constantly expanding what counts as a problem to be fixed, turning normal variation into something to be upgraded. The result is a marketplace where the next generation's traits are literally bought and sold with price tags attached to potential futures. The first wave of enhanced humans will be the privileged few, deepening social divides and raising questions about fairness and equality. With little regulation or oversight, the genetic gold rush is on, and the biological gap between rich and poor may soon be impossible to close. The future of our DNA, and perhaps humanity itself, is being shaped by those who can afford to pay the price. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World warned of engineered humans and rigid social castes, painting a chilling vision of a future where people are designed and sorted before birth. Today, that dystopian vision is quietly morphing into a business plan, as technology and commerce merge in ways Huxley could only imagine. Biotech startups now offer embryo selection for so-called desirable traits, echoing Huxley's warnings, only now, it's rebranded as parental choice and marketed as empowerment. The technology began with the noble goal of preventing inherited diseases, but it's rapidly expanding to target intelligence, height, athleticism, and even personality. Each incremental step seems reasonable, even beneficial, but together they're leading us toward a world where technology, not nature, shapes our children's destinies and identities. The market, not democracy or public debate, is making these decisions, one consumer at a time, driven by profit and competition. As more people choose to enhance their offspring, social pressure will mount, making it harder for others to opt out, and turning genetic selection into a new norm. We're not being forced into a brave new world. Instead, we're buying our way in, one embryo at a time, with each transaction making the practice more acceptable. The normalization of genetic selection is happening quietly, almost invisibly, fueled by the promise of a better future and the relentless drive for profit. The future being built may be one we come to regret as the consequences of these choices unfold over generations. Are we truly ready for a world where our children's worth is measured in genetic scores, and where the definition of normal is set by those who can afford to choose? While the US lets the market lead, China's genetic revolution is state-driven and massive in scale. The government invests billions in genomics, building the world's largest genetic databases and biobanks. Companies like BGI operate globally, mapping the genetic basis of traits like intelligence for national improvement. Biotechnology is a pillar of China's industrial policy, tightly coordinated between government, research, and industry. Public health and state-driven enhancement blur together, with widespread prenatal screening now routine. The state's power to shape the next generation is unprecedented. Individual choice is secondary to national goals. China's approach raises new ethical concerns. The state, not the market, decides what makes a better citizen. The Dragon Genome Project is a bold attempt to harness genetics for national glory. The future of China's population is being engineered from the top down. The US-China genetic rivalry reflects their core values: American individualism versus Chinese collectivism. In the US, genetic enhancement is a personal choice driven by the market and parental ambition. This risks a society divided by genetic privilege, with the wealthy buying advantages for their children. China's model is top-down, using genetics for public policy and national strength. Here, the state's vision shapes the population, sometimes at the cost of personal freedom. Each side fears being outpaced by the other, fueling a dangerous race. The US worries about falling behind a state-engineered Chinese population. China sees Western genetic consumerism as decadent and unstable. Both models have flaws. One risks inequality, the other, authoritarian control. The world faces a false choice between two extremes, with little room for compromise. Who should decide the future of human evolution? The market, the state, or someone else? We've been here before. The idea of improving humanity through selective breeding is called eugenics, and its history is dark. In the early 20th century, eugenics led to forced sterilizations and discriminatory laws in the US, long before the Nazis took it to its horrific extreme. The Holocaust discredited eugenics, but the temptation to improve humanity never vanished. Today's genetic technologies revive old dangers in new forms. Now, it's not state coercion, but consumer choice and market pressure driving the new eugenics. The language is about health and love, but the risk is the same, judging which traits and people are worth having. The past warns us, giving anyone the power to decide who gets to be born is perilous. The old eugenics eliminated the unfit. The new eugenics may seek to perfect the fit. Are we repeating history just with better tools? The power to shape human life is shifting from nature to technology, and from families to institutions. In the US, corporations and the wealthy drive genetic selection, turning children into consumer products. This risks a genetic aristocracy, where the rich and poor become biologically distinct. In China, the state wields this power, engineering citizens to fit national goals. Both models threaten freedom and diversity, one through profit, the other through politics. Neither can be trusted with the ultimate power to design our descendants. There's no global framework to govern these technologies, yet the US and China are setting the rules for everyone. The world is being forced to choose between two flawed systems. The outcome will define the future of our species. Who should hold the power over the cradle? Corporations, governments, or humanity as a whole? The genetic arms race isn't just about health or intelligence, it's about military power. Both the US and China are researching ways to create super soldiers. Stronger, faster, more resilient. Genetic tools that heal can also be weaponized, turning bodies into military hardware. DARPA and Chinese military programs are exploring enhancements, from muscle mass to fatigue resistance. The temptation to use germline editing for permanent military advantage is growing. Each side fears the other will act first, fueling a dangerous feedback loop. An arms race for super soldiers could destabilize the world and blur the line between human and weapon. What rights would these soldiers have? What happens after their service? The pursuit of military enhancement could turn the dream of better humans into a nightmare. The genetic race is unfolding as both the US and China face demographic crises, falling birth rates and aging populations. With fewer children, both nations are shifting focus from quantity to quality. China's state-driven push for genetic excellence aims to compensate for a shrinking workforce. The US market responds with private investment in genetic enhancement for the few. Each side sees the other's approach as a threat, intensifying the rivalry. The urgent need to solve demographic problems is pushing ethical concerns aside. Who decides what kind of humans should exist? Who sets the rules? If we don't confront these questions now, demographic panic may make the choice for us. The power over our DNA is the power over our future. It's time for a global conversation before the race becomes irreversible.